Do you ever wonder why in most romantic movies the guy often gives their jacket to the ladies? It's not that the guy is not cold or something. Keep on watching to find out. Welcome to Arbitrary Facts, where you'll find bite sized information from all over the web. In this video, we'll talk about some health myths that turns out to be true, according to science. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for you to know if we have new bite sized information for you to digest. Let's proceed with 8. Eating just before sleeping gives you a nightmare. Ever get an advice saying that eating just before sleeping does give you nightmares? Sounds like an inaccurate advice from a friend, right? It turns out there are many studies which have found a link between eating late and bad dreams. Though we don't understand the exact mechanism behind why that is, it might be due to our metabolism being overly active when we go to sleep immediately after dinner, which would make the brain more restless and result in increased activity. It's not just when you eat, but also what you eat. Some food items are especially good at inducing nightmares, like dairy and spicy foods. Number 7. Carrots do improve your eyesight. This started as a false campaign by the British Ministry of Information back in the World War II. It was used as a false campaign which was intentionally spread across German held territory. This is to hide their recently developed radar technology back then. Nevertheless, carrots contain beta-carotene, which is a safe dietary source of vitamin A. Vitamin A helps our eyesight to convert light into signals, which is understood by the brain. It is also responsible for our ability to see in low light. Now, a deficiency in vitamin A may lead to the decline of cornea, which in worst case may cause permanent blindness. Number 6. Exercise does make you smarter? No doubt that exercising does a lot of good things for our body. It keeps you in shape, strengthens the immune system, and generally improves the quality of your life. But hearing someone say that it will make you smarter would sound too good to be true. Well, they aren't wrong. One study published in Nature Medicine found that exercising releases a protein called irisin. It helps improves the neural connection between different parts of the brain, as well our memory and thinking skills. In short, irisin saves memories from degradation. Exercising also helps in reducing the risk of Alzheimer's and other types of dementia. Well, that's one benefit that we should not forget. Number 5. Women do feel colder than men? It has always been a cliche that a man will give a woman his coat during a romantic walkout in the night. We normally overlook this situation as it appears romantic on the actual scene when we are watching. Yet, a 2015 study by Dutch scientists found that comfortable temperature for women is about 2.5 degrees Celsius, which is warmer than it is for men, falling somewhere around 24 to 25 degrees Celsius. This is because of the hormone called estrogen, which slows down the flow of blood to the tips of the toes and fingers during cold months. Number 4. Eating spicy food helps you lose weight. How many times have we encountered friends or people in general giving how to lose weight tips about eating spicy foods? Sounds very far-fetched. However, in a study by researchers from the University of Wyoming, they isolated a chemical found in chilies called capsaicin and fed it to a mice. Now, when they raised the rodent's fat intake, they found that the mice were unable to gain weight as long as the chemical was in effect. Now, when you eat spicy foods, especially chilies, the capsaicin in it raises the metabolism rate and triggers thermogenesis, which is just a fancy word for the production of heat inside the body. Meaning, more heat, the more fat we are most likely to burn. Number 3. Garlic helps with toothache. It sounds like an odd recommendation from someone if we hear them say to have some garlic when you're experiencing toothache. Although, studies have shown that garlic is actually effective in relieving toothache due to its antibacterial properties. Garlic can also provide quite a few other benefits to the body, like fighting infections, reducing blood glucose levels, and even anti-tumor properties. A fair warning though, garlic may help in alleviating toothache, but it also gives you bad breath. So take this in moderation. Number 2. You can catch up on sleep. When we are working back to back on a project on a very tight deadline, we tend to have few to no sleep at all, and then we had to function the next day. We might be able to get away with this every now and again, but making a habit of it can be trouble. Our body needs consistency on sleep, and when you don't sleep enough, your body assumes some sort of trauma, and this raises one's stress hormones, primarily cortisol. Excessive cortisol may lead to Cushing syndrome, which may show muscle weakness, cognitive difficulties, headache, weight gain, slow healing of infections, and the list goes on. Number 1. Monsoons do make joint pain worse. Talk to old people with arthritis, and they'll tell you all about how it gets worse during the monsoon. Some of them even claim to predict the change of seasons by the pain alone, and doctors have never been able to explain it. After all, how can weather affect pain in the joints? Well, thanks to science, we now know that it's not just old people being old people. Weather does have a definite impact on joint pain, especially arthritis. A study found that changes in biometric pressure, room temperature, and humidity have a noticeable impact on arthritis pain, and the more they change, the worse the pain gets. These parameters vary the most during monsoon, which is why there are many more medical visits for arthritis during this time than any other time of the year. That's all for now. We may have not covered everything in this video, but if you know a health myth that turns out to be true, please leave a comment down below. We all know that to share is to care. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thank you so much for your time.